All right, I think we're right side up now after a few failed attempts. We shall see. Let me get it set up on my computer so I can know what we're doing. Not that I know what I'm doing. Sometimes the YouTube thing likes to mess with my mind as far as the. Let's get this volume out of here. Okay, hopefully now we're in something that resembles a regular video presentation. This is Replay Baseball, 1980 style debut game of Go-Go Joe Charboneau. The game book or game results are done off of a trifold sheet here, or trifold board, I should say. This will be off camera. I'm going to stand it up right here, just the way I use it when I'm playing. So it'll be off camera. But if I do want to show some results, I do have the original spiral bound results book that also could be on there. So I may do that for a couple of first couple plays, just for the people not familiar with it, just to see the mechanics of the game. But otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and roll it and read the results, the dice and the score sheet, and I'll just read the results based on what the cards tell me and the board tells me. So hopefully after a couple of false starts, we are ready to go. I've got about a 10 or 15 yard penalty against me for all these false starts, but fortunately this is baseball and not football. Kind of given up on football, at least the NFL right now. Too much political stuff going on for my taste. Too much kneeling and all that other stuff going on. So I just want to see football. I don't want to see anything to deal with politics. That's my escape. It's not my go-to. All right, so let's get the score sheet in place. I think that will pretty much do it. Starting pitchers for today's game, Dave Frost of the California Angels will be taking on Dan Spillner of the Cleveland Indians. Both, again, this is opening day, so they may not be the best starters, but that's who the managers chose on this particular day to start the game. And let's go through the lineups very quickly. Leading off in center field is Rick Manning. At third base is Toby Harrah. First base is the human rain delay, Mike Hargrove. The designated hitter for Cleveland is Mr. Gary Alexander, who's also a catcher and outfielder. George Orta, you might remember him from the '77 White Sox. He is in right field. Ron Hassey will be doing the catching behind the plate. Man of the hour, Joe Charboneau is in left field hitting seventh. Dwayne Kuiper is at second. San Francisco Giants announcer, rather. He will hit eighth. And Tom Verizza, the shortstop, will bat ninth. And we'll get to the Detroit lineup as it happens. Now, the mechanics on the game, red, white, and blue is the dice roll. I'll go through a real quick demonstration of the way the game is played for those who just have not seen it or haven't seen it in so long that maybe they forgot. So let's look at a mock at bat between Dave Frost and Rick Manning. All right, we'll just go ahead and use what I have down here on the dice just for the heck of it. So actually, no, we won't. Let's use 2, 3, 4. How about that? 2, 3, 4. That's a simple one enough. All right, the red die tells us which column we're in for both the batter and the pitcher card, which is number 2. So we know in Frost we're going to be in column 2. We know in Rick Manning we're going to be on column 2. So the 2 tells us, and you notice the 2 is red and the numbers here are red to tell you, to remind you that's what it's representing. The white die is for the batter. The white die tells you what row to look in on that particular column. So we know we're in column 2, but the 3 tells us we're in row 3. So we cross-reference column 2 to row 3, and we see we're right here on this number 16. And also, these numbers are in black to correspond with the numbers in black on the white die. So that tells us 16 is what we're getting from the batter card. That's what he's putting towards the bat, is 16. The blue die goes to the pitcher card, and look at their row. This die is in blue, the numbers here are in blue. So we go to 4 and the column 2, which is right here, and we get a 5. So we add up the numbers 5 and 16, get a 21. So 21 in column 2, and we go to our column 2 results. Column 2, number 21 is a fly out to left field, and that's the at bat right there. That finishes out the at bat. So that means had we rolled this for real, it would have been a fly to the left. Rick Manning would be out and move on to the next batter. So that's kind of a simplified version of how the game is played. So hopefully that wasn't too cloudy, or hopefully it was clear as mud as to how it's getting played. All right. Hey, Al, how are you doing? Good to see you. All right. So again, I can't speak. Go Charboneau. Joe Charboneau, his debut game in the major leagues, 1980, Mr. Flash in the Pan. I think he might have even been Rookie of the Year in 1980, I'm not sure, but then he kind of fizzled right after that. But here we go. Cleveland and California and I forgot to get, one thing I did forget to bring out was the stadium card, because the stadium in replay baseball can affect the at-bat when you get to these shaded areas in orange. So I need to go pull the Anaheim Stadium card. So there's the Anaheim Stadium card, and that has a column 2, column 3, and a column 6, depending on what you roll. Orange column you roll. Is it in column 2, column 3, or column 6? So had to have that out there. Can't get long without that. All right, Cooperstown bound. I appreciate that. Trying to get back to a little bit more to my roots. The whole channel, like 4 or 5 years ago was started just to demo games. I had no inspiration of playing season replays or any of that stuff. I was just trying to demo some games for people that hadn't seen them, so they can make the decision whether they wanted to purchase or not, and or whether they wanted to, just sit back and watch. So that's what's going on. See if I can I'm gonna see if this will fit in this video. I don't know if it'll fit all the way. It might. Looks like it might. Okay, I think it will. All right, let me look at my computer and make sure I can see everything before I get going. I can see the cards, I can see the dice tray, and see the score sheet. So there you go. Rob, you met Joe Charboneau, or are you talking about meeting me? Meeting Charboneau would be pretty good. Meeting me is not anything to hang your hat on. All right, so we're ready to get going here. Dave Frost finishing up his warm-up tosses. And if you notice on Dave Frost's card, on the pitcher card, it's better to have 1s and 2s. Worst thing you can have is 4s and 5s. And you can see a lot of 4s and 5s in Dave Frost's card. Means he gives up a lot of hits in column 3 and column 2 for that matter. He had a 5.29 ERA, 4-8 record in 1980. So, but you never know. I mean, he can come out and roll a 2-hitter. So that's why you play the games, as they say. All right, so again, red, white, and blue is how they are deciphered. So we're going to go ahead and get going here with Rick Manning, and I'll try to keep up with the chat as best I can. Hello, STG Replays. First time watching replay baseball. Yeah, we had an influx of inside pitch and payoff pitch and strat. So I figured, why not bring out something a little bit different, just to give people that may be new to watching this since all the COVID stuff started. Do you agree that the bottom line is Stratomatic is the best card? I do believe from all the games out there, my personal favorite is Stratomatic. I think it's the best game engine. I don't think it's the best components or the best customer service, but I do believe it gives the most realistic results on a season replay. And I've tested that by the 77 White Sox. I was very happy with how how that replay went and how the stats turned out. Hello, RJL. How are you doing? All right, but it's just like ice cream. I mean, I like chocolate ice cream, and Strat's kind of my chocolate ice cream. But then you've got Rocky Road, you got vanilla, you got chocolate mint, you got butter pecan, all these different flavors. No, inside pitch is not my favorite. It's one of my favorites, but if the old saying, if I was on a deserted island and only have one game, it would be Strat. And it would be 1977 season. Now, if I had only could take one season and one game, it would be Strat 1977, and I would just live with it. And if I got tired of playing with the White Sox, then I can do like Al Red Sox did and play the Go-Go Mets and see if I can get Bruce Beauclair to lead the league in hitting or something. So, anyway, enough preamble. Let's get going. Dave Frost facing Rick Manning. All right, that's a 6-6-3, and 6-6 on the batter card. Rather, again, we go to column 6. Row 6, and we see here we got a number here in orange, but we also got a split number. This is the few times, most of this game does not do a whole lot of left-right splits, but they have added some in recently. So for Rick Manning, if he's facing a right-handed batter, or pitcher rather, he uses the 8. If he's using a left-handed, then he's batter, then he's going to, or left-handed pitcher, he's going to be using the 16. But it's also in the orange variety, and the rule book says that if you're in the ballpark check, you're always using the one that could go for the home run. So we're going to go to the 8, because he's facing a righty on top of that. So we get an 8 from Rick Manning, and then we go to 6-3 on the Dave Frost card, and that's a 3. So that gives us a total of 11. So like I said, for the first couple rolls, I'll show the book. I've also got the tripod where you can't see it, it's off camera. So a 6 and an 11 right here says single to right field, but there is an asterisk. And right below here it says home run question mark, option on plays 11 through 12. Well, we got an 11. So we come over here to the home run question mark, and we see with the 11 result, we're going to roll 1d6. If it comes up as a 6, it's a home run. If it comes up as a 1 through 5, it's a single. Had we gotten a 12, then a 5 through 6 would have been a home run, and a 1 would have been a single. But we're on the low end, the 11. So he's got a 1 in 6 chance of getting a home run based on what we roll with this one die. If it's a 6, it's a home run. Anything else is just a base hit. And it's a base hit for Rick Manning. So he will lead things off with a base hit. So base hit Rick Manning. And the Indians are underway. That's pretty good. I have not tried MPNG. I've played APA, but chocolate mint's good. Actually, one of my favorites though is butter pecan, even more so than chocolate. But that I digress. All right, so Toby Hara is the batter. Infield by default is at double play depth whenever we have a runner on first and less than 2 outs. So we get a 3-5-4. Always read them: red, white, and blue. So we got a 3-5-4. So 3-5 on Hara is a 12. That's the number he's bringing to the table. 3-4 on Frost is a 4. That's a total of 16. So we go to column 3. Column 3. Number 16 is a triple to right center field. That is a triple to right center field. Had Frost had a number 3, 1 through 3 down here, like a better pitcher does, then that would have been an out. But the fact we added 4 to that 12 makes that a triple. If we add a 1 through 3 to the 12, it would have been a line out. But instead, it's a triple. Now it says with 1 out and either right field or center field having a 5 rated arm scores a double. But there's nobody out. So there's nobody out. So the triple will stand. Toby Hara is taking it to Mr. Frost very early. Frost off to a cold start. And it is 1-0 in favor of the Indians. All right. Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay, stepping to the plate. Infield is going to come in. They want to knock off the yes, this is the debut game of Go-Go Charboneau, 1980, April 11th, in Anaheim. He's batting 7th. So the infield is going to come in to try to cut that cheap run off. Hargrove 6-6. So we're back. Anytime you roll a 6-6 on the batter card, it's usually going to go to the ballpark. Again, it's an 8. It's an 8. So, but the fact that it's a ballpark card, and I probably forgot to do this before, but I guess I'll do it now. Ballpark card, you go to the ballpark, and this number can change. I forgot to do that with Manning. You can tell how long it's been since I played this game. And anytime you're in the shaded area, if you're using ballpark effects, which are optional, you could go straight with this 8 if you wanted to. But I think it's more fun to use the ballpark effects. So, column 6, you come up here to Anaheim Stadium, and you roll 2 D6s. And based on what number you get, this number 8 will change to a 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, or it could stay an 8. So we're going to keep the blue die because that goes with Frost. We're going to re-roll the red and white, and we get a 44. 44 for a left-handed batter Hargrove, 44 corresponds to a 9. So this 8 has now been upped to a 9. So it's a 9. And then Frost with a 6, 5 is a 4. So a 9 and a 4 is a 13. And 13 in column 6 is a home run. No doubt about it. It is a home run. So the ballpark actually boosted that home run. It probably would have been one anyway, but it's possible that it may not have been. Could have possibly been just a single. But it's 3-0 already, and Frost is definitely taking his lickings here by these Cleveland Indians. And neither team was very good. The Angels, let's see, the Indians were 79-81, managed by Dave Garcia. And the Angels were 65-95, managed by Jim Fregosi. So not exactly a stellar matchup, but I did like the Go Joe Charboneau angle, so that's why I chose it. And I don't have that many seasons for replay baseball, so this is one of the few I could actually go get. So here we go. DH Alexander, bases clear now. 6-2. I'm rolling a lot of sixes. 6-2 is a 9. That could be trouble again. And 6-6 on Frost is a 4. That's a 13. We just saw 13's a home run, so Alexander hits a home run. So that's a triple and 2 home runs to go with a single to lead off. So it's 4-0 right off the get-go, and Frost will probably need relief very quickly. Angels will go to their bullpen early and often, I do believe. Their long reliever, let's see if they have anybody in long relief. Yeah, Alfredo Martinez did start 23 games, but he relieved in 7. So I've never even heard of Alfredo Martinez, but that's his card. So he's my candidate to be coming in for long relief. So let's see what happens. George Orta, the batter. A 6 again. They can't miss that column 6 in the red. This time though it's a 16, so that'll help. 16 and a 6. 6-6 here is a 4. So that makes it a 20. 20 in column 6. A 20 in column 6, rather than a home run, is a deep fly to right field. It would be a sacrifice fly had there been a runner on third and less than 2 outs. But in this case, it's just a deep fly ball, and Frost catches his breath. Thankful that was not another home run. But he's trying to get out of this. They're trying to get away from this red die being a number 6. Let's see if I can shuffle them in my hands and then put them in the tray, and hopefully we'll get something other than a red 6. Oh, the white die didn't go through. Let's try that. All right, so that's a 5-2-2. 5 is where you can get your walks. 5 and a 2 is a 27 for Ron Hassey. And a 5 and a 2 for Frost is a 1 is a 28. 28 in column 5. A 28 is a fly out to right field. So fortunately for him, it's another fly out to right field, and there's 2 away. Now in the first inning, didn't think he was going to bat in the first inning, but there he is, Mr. Go Joe Charboneau. And for the season, 23 home runs, 289 average, slugged at 488. So Go Joe Charboneau is up to plate against Frost. 1-4. 1-4 is a 35, and a 1-1 off Frost is a 3. That's a 38. So column 1, column 1 and number 38 is a ground ball to third, and that's going to end the inning mercifully. But 4 runs come across for the Tribe as they take it to Mr. Frost. At least he survived the inning, and will probably come back for the second to see if he can take more abuse. All right, Dan Spillner is going to be the recipient of this big lead, but he's no prize either. He in the season was 16-11 with a 5.28 ERA, so he's looking to give up some runs as well. Here's Al Cowens, and you notice here on Cowens, it's got Cal-DT. That means he was traded to Detroit mid-season. So when I got the set, he was with Detroit. I had to move him back to California to put him with the opening day rosters. So Al Cowens, the former Kansas City Royal, and he will lead off against Spillner. 4-4. 4-4 is all your fielding checks. 4-4 here is a 2, and a 4-6 on Spillner is the second baseman. On the pitcher cards, column 4, they don't have numbers, they have positions. And then we check the defensive rating of that position player. And the ratings I've filled in on the little diamonds that are on the score sheet right here. So you can see the second baseman, that's what we have, second baseman, got a 4 here for Dwayne Kuiper. So Dwayne Kuiper, his range is a 4. So that's the number we're going to add to the number that Al Cowens did. Al Cowens was a 2. That's a 4. It's a total of 6, and a 6 in column 4 is a standard ground out. No big deal there with the number that low. So Cowens is gone, 6-3, and that'll bring up Carney Lansford, who later played with Boston and with the Oakland A's, most notably, probably most well known for the Oakland A's. 1-5. 1-5 is a 2. Low numbers in column 1 leads to strikeouts, except these pitchers aren't high strikeout pitchers, so they may get away with it. But a 1 through 6 is a strikeout in column 1. 1-5 is a 2. 1-4 is a 3. It's a total of 5, so it does make the strikeout total of 6 or less. So Carney Lansford will take the whiff. That brings up Disco Dan Ford, right fielder. 4-6, and again we're in the fielding category, and a 1. So anytime you get a low number in the column 4 like that, it's just about a guaranteed out. 4-6 is a 1. 4-4 is the shortstop, and that case shortstop is Verizon. He's a 3. It's a total of 4, and anything 2 through 11 is automatic ground out. So easy play that. In fact, this first bat should have been a 4-3, not a 6-3. Not that it matters. I'm not keeping any stats on this. It's just a one-off. But it's 3 up and 3 down. Spillner shows Frost how it was done. Now can they defrost him here and see if he can get going? All right, Dwayne Kuiper, number 8 hitter in the lineup, will lead things off against Mr. Frost. And we're back in column 6 again. Boy, they can't avoid these column 6s. But this is a 31, so that won't be too bad. 6-3 is a 31. 6-1 is a 2. That's a 33 combined number. 33 is a pop out to second. So he survived that column 6, but boy, that red 6 is coming up an awful lot here against Mr. Frost. It might be a conspiracy. Maybe the dice are loaded. This time it's a 1 though. 1-2 is a 35, and a 1-1 is a 3. That's a 38, and that's a ground ball to third. And with nobody else on, you don't have to worry about runner advancement. So it's 2 up and 2 down, so maybe Frost has defrosted and warmed up enough to get going here. Here's Rick Manning. 4-1 is a 1, so that's most likely going to be a ground out. 4-1 is a 1. 4-2 is the second baseman, and the second baseman is Bobby Grich, and Bobby Grich is a 1, so that's a total of 2. So definitely a easy 4-3 ground out, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Frost. So he finally got it figured out. Took him in 1 inning to do it, but he got it done. So now we go to the bottom of the second, and this game plays fairly quickly unless you have a pitcher like Frost that likes to give up the long ball. But otherwise, you'll probably play a game in a half hour, for as quick if not quicker than inside pitch or payoff pitch. So, all right, here's Don Baylor to lead things off. 3-2. 3-2 for Baylor is a 2, and a 3-6 is a 5. That's a total of 7. 7 in column 3 is a single. So the fact that he had a 5 here gave up the hit. Had he been a 4 or less, that would have been a fly out. But since that was a 5, that turned the 2 into a 7. And 2 through 6s are outs, but 7, 8s, and 9s are base hits. So Baylor benefited from Spillner having a large number there in his column. So Baylor is aboard. And that brings up Rod Carew. Interesting they would bat Rod Carew this low in the order, but what can I tell you? That's Jim Fregosi for you. 4-1 is a 2. Now this could be a double play because the runner is at first and the infield is halfway. So a 2 through 6 could be a double play. So let's see here. 4-1 is a 2. 4-6 is the second baseman, which is Kuiper, which is a 4. So the 4 plus the 2 is the 6, which is good enough for a double play. So it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play hit into by Rod Carew. So that clears the bases, and that brings up Brian Downing. 1-6 is a 45, and a 45, and that's a 1-4, which is a 3, makes it a 48, and anything 46 to 50 with the bases empty is a strikeout. If there's a runner on first and less than 2 outs, you would have an alternate chance of a double play. But with the bases empty, it's simply a strikeout, and the inning is over. So 2 innings in the books. And obviously, like I said, you could play this game a lot faster than I'm doing it. I'm just kind of playing it methodically, at least in the beginning, to give people a chance to see the mechanics at work. And if there's any questions and I can catch it on the chat, I will try to answer it the best I can. So, all right, Toby Harrah. Again, the distinction of having his last name spelled the same forwards as it is backwards. So as Harry Carey would say, Toby Harrah's name spelled backwards is Harrah. So here we go. Harrah leading off the top of the third. It's a 3-4, and that's a 57. And 3-6 is a 5. That's a 62. 62 in column 3 is a little bit unusual, so I'll show that result. Column 3, number 62 is the combined number we came up with. And 62 says, 58 to 62 says, a rare play possibility. Is this showing up? Hold on here. Maybe it's not showing up all the way. 58 to 62. There it is. I got it in camera now. 58 to 62 is showing a rare play possibility. So what we're going to do is roll one die. If it's even, then we use the comebacker to the pitcher 53 through 57 result. If it's odd, we go to the rare playbook, which is in the back of the book. So we're going to roll one die and see if it's even or odd. It is even, so that means we're going to the comebacker. I was hoping for an odd to get a rare result, but we're going to do the 53 through 57 comeback to the pitcher. So what does it say on the comeback to the pitcher? Comeback to the pitcher. It says, roll one die against the runner's speed. If the die is higher, he is out. And the pitcher has a choice to get which runner he wants to get. But of course, nobody's on base, so his only chance is to get Toby Harrah. Toby Harrah's speed, the speed number is right here. He's a 4. So we're going to roll this red die again. If the die is a 5 or 6, Toby Harrah will be out. If it's 1 to 4, he will beat it out for an infield hit. It's a 1, so he beats it out for an infield hit. And of course, Frost is wondering where the red 6 is. Where'd that go to? Because he's been getting red 6s the whole game, but he couldn't get it there. So Toby Harrah beats it out for a base hit. Here is Mike Hargrove. 2-6, and that's going to put us in the shaded region. The number here is a 3, but that can change based on the ballpark. So in this case, we're in column 2, so we're going to roll 2d6s and see what we get. And that 3 that's there could change as high as 5 or as low as 1, depending on what we roll here. That's a 53. 53 is going to bump this up to a 4. So this goes from a 3 to a 4, which is going to give it even a better chance of dropping in for a hit because we're checking the range of the outfielder. Now the blue die is going to determine who the outfielder is. So the blue die in this case is a 6. And on these rolls that show the 55 in column 2, 55, that 6 is a 5, makes that a 60. So it's a looping drive to the outfield. The blue die, being a 6, is the right fielder. So we're checking the right fielder, George Orta, who obviously doesn't have that great a range. He's got a range of 3, and of course this is now a 4, so that's going to fall in for a base hit. Now it says if the defensive rating is higher than the Rays number, then it's a flyout. If outfielder's range is not higher, then it's a base hit for a single. Runners advance 1 base, 2 bases if their speed is higher than the outfielder's arm or with 2 outs. So Harrah is his speed. Harrah's speed is a 4, which is higher than Orta's arm, which is a 2. So that means that Harrah is going to get to third because his speed is more than the arm of the outfielder. So he will go to third. And I know it seems kind of complicated if you haven't played this game before, but it's really not that bad. The instructions are very well written, and if you take your time the first couple times, the learning curve on this is very small. But now, the learning curve on Dave Frost it's getting worse because he's getting beat around again. So Alfredo Martinez is loosening in the pen. All right, so Kerry Alexander is up. Bases are clear with runners on the corners. They're going to play double play depth. They really need the 2 outs. I know they can't afford to get more runs, but if they play the infield in and the ball gets through, then you're looking at 7 or 8 to nothing. So they're going to take a chance and hope they can get a double play. 2-5. 2-5 is a 3, and 2-6 is a 5. That's a total of 8 in column 2, and that is a foul out to third base. So that helps him out. That's going to keep the runners right where they are. And now a double play gets him out of the inning. And here's George Orta. Orta, the batter. Actually, you know what? I was not looking. I was looking at the wrong fielder on the arm. I was looking at Orta instead of looking at Ford. Ford's got a 4 arms. Let me go back and see if that runner can get to third or not. Let's see if defense. Nope, he cannot get to third. He should be at second. So let me correct that. Because he's a 4-speed is Hera, and the arm of, you can see it on the video here, but the arm of Disco Dan is a 4, which is the same as Hera, and to advance has to be higher. So Hera is actually now back at second base where he should be. So got to be careful which defensive side I'm reading here. All right, so first and second, 1 out. Double play gets them out of the inning if they can get it. Here's Orta. 1-4. That is a 4, and a 1-6 is a 5. It's a total of 9, and that is a pop out to short for out number 2. And that was big to move him back to second, because you see this little, there's a little, I hope you can see it on camera. There's a little caret sign right here, and that means had there been a runner on third with less than 2 outs, that pop to short would have changed to a second to center. So the fact that the runner was back at second took that away, made it a pop out. So that saved him a run right there. All right, so here's Ron Hasse. 5-4. Frost. That is a 2. I'm sorry, Hasse 5-4. That's a 1 with the K. The K means that if he gets on base, we go to a special chart that's lettered, and we look under the K result. But that's a 1 right now. 5-4 is a 1. 5-5 under the pitcher is a 3. Total of 4. 4 in column 5 is simply a ground ball to short that's going to end the inning, so we won't have to worry about going to that other extra chart, which I do have, and I can show you just so you see what it looks like. It's called an action chart, and the action chart is lettered A through M, so we would have gone to column K had he reached and nobody been in front of him. All right, Al, drive safely. Boy, that's one of the things I love about working from home. I just put away my work computer and everything, and it took me about 10 minutes to set this up, and I'm ready to roll. So normally the hour or 50 minutes it would have taken to drive home, I can be well on my way to playing this game. All right, of course, probably in January I'm going to go back to the office, so we'll see. It's not up to us, it's up to our governor. All right, here we go. Joe Rudy, Tutti Frutti O Rudy against Spillner. 3-6, and the 3-6 is the definitive lefty-right split in this game. You get 3 and a 6, you get either a 42, or if a left-hander, and I'll show a left-hander if I can find one. Let's find a left-handed batter here real quick. Rod Carew's got a 47. So you're either going to have a 47 if you're a lefty, or a 42 if you are right-handed. And I'll show it in the book so you can see what I'm talking about, because it is the main place where you have the left-right split. So we're looking here in column number 3. And so what you have here, you have a 42, which means you come over here to this section, 43 through 47, because anything the pitcher adds to the 42 is going to give you a 43 through 47 final result. If the right-handed batter is facing a left-handed pitcher, he gets a single. If he's facing a right-handed pitcher, it's a line out to short. So that's why he has a 42. Lefties have a 47 because anything you add to that gets you 48 to 52. So if a lefty batter is facing a lefty pitcher, he lines out. But if facing a right-handed pitcher, it's a single. So that's the left-right split by default, is that 3-6, red 3, yellow, white 6 result. So since he's a righty facing a righty, he's going to line it to shortstop. And that's 1 away. All right, here is Bobby Grich. Hope that was clear as mud. All right, 6-3, and that's a 36. And a 6-2 is a 3 for a 39, and that is a strikeout. Anytime you get a 36 in column 6 on the batter card, it's an automatic strikeout, because anything you add to that will give you the 37 through 41 range, which is a strikeout. So I can tell right off the bat when it's a 36, it's a strikeout. All right, so here we go. 2 up and 2 down. Here's Freddie Patek. 3-5, and that's another ballpark card. We're in the orange again. Starts out as a 3. We're going to column 3. See if that number changes. We'll keep the blue die separate. 51. 51 changes that number to a 5. So instead of a 3 here, it becomes a 5. And then we have 3-4, which is a 3 here. So instead of that being a 6, it's now going to be a combined total of 8. A 6 would have been a fly out the center, but an 8 is going to be a single. So the ballpark, Anaheim ballpark, gave him a single on that. So Patek took advantage of the home cooking and got the base hit. So a 2-out single, that brings up top of the order for Al Cowens. 3-5 for Spillner. I'm sorry, for Cowens. And we're back to the same roll again. That's the exact same roll we just had, 3-5. So we'll roll it again. And we get a 65. 65 is going to actually change it worse. 65 is going to change this number to a 62. See, it jumps from 5 to 62 here. So 65 falls in the 62 to 66 range, becomes a 62. You add the 3-3 from, I was looking, no, I was right. Okay, never mind. I was thinking that was 6 to lead Continent. Never mind, got confused. All right, so 3-3 is a 3, which gives them a total of 68. 68 in column 3. I'll bring that out so you can see that. 68 in column 3 is going to be, let's see here, it was a 65. Where was I? I just had it. I'm sorry, it was a 3, so it becomes a 62, and then add 3, it becomes a 65. So 65 becomes a line drive single to center, runners advance 2 bases. But, so Patek will go to third. So runners are on the corners. Trying to do my best to play the game and explain the game at the same time, so sometimes that can be a little cumbersome, but trying to do what I can. All right, here's Carney Lansford, runners at the corners, 2 outs. 4-6. 4-6 is a 2. 4-6 is the second baseman, which is going to be Kuiper, who's a 4. Total of 6, and with the infield back, because there's already 2 outs, that's a simple ground out to end the inning. So the Angels threaten but do not score. And after 3 complete, it is still 4-0 Indians in this Go-Go Joe Charboneau tribute game. All right, and speaking of Charboneau, he's going to lead things off against Frost, who struggled last inning but got out of it without any runs. 1-6 is a 45, and we know that's a strikeout route to get-go because 46 to 50 is a strikeout, and anything we add from Frost is going to make that number in the 46 to 50 range. So Go-Go strikes out. And that's the one thing with this game, you can start remembering certain roles and know exactly what they are before you even look at the chart book to see what it is. There's sort of like a 13 in APA. You kind of know it's a strikeout before you even look at anything. So this game can be like that as well. 5-4 is a 1, and a 5-1 is a 1. That's a total of 2, which is a ground ball to first. So Frost, 2 quick outs. That brings up Verizon. 6-1 is a 16. 6-6 is a 4. It's a 20. That's a deep fly to left, but not going to be the home run they wanted. So that's going to end the inning. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 4-0. So Frost hanging in there, saving his bullpen if nothing else. And here's Dan Spillner back out, join a 4-0 lead. We'll be facing the top of the order and Disco Dan. Well, not the top of the order, third place hitter, Disco Dan. I'm used to him leading off in other games. All right, 5-3 on Disco Dan is a 5, and a 5-3 is a 3. It's a total of 8 in column 5, and that is a base on balls. You get a lot of walks in column 5, and Disco Dan, no exception. So Dan walks, and this game has automated steals, so you don't really call in steals. I guess there's an option to do that, but I play with the automated steals. It's kind of cooked into the results. So I just kind of, it's sort of like basic APA. I just kind of, it just cooked into the results, and I let the game engine play that out. In case you were curious about steals. Here's Don Baylor. 2-6, and we're back to this ballpark again. So we come over here. Right now the number is a 3, but that can change based on the 2d6s. It is a 24. So it's going to stay, it's going to drop actually. It drops from a 3 to a 2 because of the 24 is next to this 2. So that's a 2 raised number. This is a 6 to go with the 2 there. That's a 2-6 is a 4 there. It makes that a 59. But the number is a 2. And the blue die being a 6 means we're going to the right fielder again. And the right fielder is George Orta. And Orta in right field has that range of 3. So he will get to this. Had this stayed a 3, that would have dropped in. But since the ballpark lowered it to a 2, he's able to come in and make that catch. So that time the ballpark cost Don Baylor a base hit. So he's out of there, and here is Rod Carew. 4-1 is a 2. Could be a double play coming up. 4-1 is a 2. 4-5 is the shortstop, and the shortstop is Verizon. He's a range of 3. So the 2 and 3 is a total of 5. Anything less than 6 is a double play. So 4-6-3 we go. I'm sorry, 6-4-3. 6-4-3 to end the inning. And that's it for the Angels here in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the 5th. Still 4-0. So after that frantic top of the 1st, everything's kind of settled down. And Rick Manning will lead. And talk about the card quality. Not bad. Nowhere near payoff pitch, but I think it's better than inside pitch. So I would rate these cards, the quality of these cards as far as the card stock and the sturdiness of them, I would rate them second to payoff pitch. It's somewhere in between payoff pitch and inside. It's better than inside pitch, but not better than, obviously, nothing's better than payoff pitch as far as card quality goes. Their card stock is just fantastic. But these hold up very well. But like I said, a little bit sturdier than inside pitch, but nowhere near as good as payoff pitch. All right, so Rick Manning will lead things off here in the top of the 5th. 3-1 is a 13, and a 3-5 is a 5. Total of 18 in column 3, and that's going to be a double down the left field line according to the chart. So that is a double for Rick Manning. He is singled and now doubled. So again, Frost in trouble. Here's Hera. 5-6, and that's a 4. And a 5-6 is a 4. It's a total of 8. And it says it's a walk, but with bases loaded count as 2 balls. But the bases aren't loaded, so it will be a walk. It will set up a double play if nothing else. I guess that's one bright spot. Here's Hargrove. 4-5, but that's a 17, so that's going to be hard to get a double play off of that. 4-2 is the second baseman, and for California, that is Gritch. He's a 1, so that makes that total an 18. They are at double play depth. So 18 with the infield halfway is a ground out to first, runners advance. So it's a 4-3 ground out with the runners advancing to second and third. Had they had the infield back, it would have been the same thing. So that particular result wouldn't have changed. All right, so Hargrove does advance the runners. The infield will have to come in. They got to cut that run off. So with 1 out, the infield will be in as Gary Alexander is the batter. Designated hitter. Frost, 3-3. And again, back to the ballpark again. That orange result is a 5, but it could change. Keep that 5 over there. 46. 46 is a 4. So this number drops from a 5 to a 4 based on this ballpark card. So that is now a 4. And a 3-5 is a 5. That's a total of 9 in column 3. But a 9 in column 3 is a single to right field. Runners advance 1 base. And there is an option to check with a third base coach about the runner on second advancing to try to score. Now, let's look at the third base coach. A good time to go ahead and do that. I'll show the results so you can see it. The, what was that in column 3 and number 9? 3 and 9 says single to right field. Runner advances 1 base. Check with third base coach for extra base attempts. So we've got a chart here for the third base coach. And the way we determine that is the base running rating and the outfielder arm. The ball was hit to right field. The right fielder arm, Disco Dan, is a 4. The run rating of the man on second base trying to score is Hera, and his base running rating is a 4. So when you add them together or subtract them from each other, you get a 0. So we look in the 0 column, we roll 2 d6s. 11 to 12 he's going to hold. Also with 4 he's going to hold. 9 is going to be out. And then all these results here means he does score the extra base. So they'll go ahead and take the chance. They're going to roll 2 d6s and see what happens. We get a 7. So a 7 says he gets the extra base. In fact, it says an extra base with a plus sign. So his lead runner is safe, advancing extra base on a close play. Trailing runners may move up on the play as well. So that's what that plus means. The trailing runners have a chance to move up. It says any runner with speed equal to or higher than the die roll moves up if next base is open. Are we going to roll 1 die and see if his speed is higher than that? to 6 is not higher. So the trail runner cannot move up. Alexander will have to stop at first. But his single does score 2 runs as the third base coach waved him on. It is now 6-0, and that's going to be all for Mr. Frost. He is finally going to be put in the deep freeze. He is going to be out of there. At least he got them to the 5th inning to help their bullpen. So actually now they're going to bring in, let's see, they may bring in somebody else that's not quite as long of a reliever. They're going to bring in John Montague. He actually pitched in this game. So John Montague, of course, he's no better than Frost. Montague, a former Seattle Mariner from 1977 season. Montague is on. So Orta steps to the plate. It'll be Orta with Alexander at first and 1 out. 6-4 is a 58. 6-2 is a 2. That's a 60 in column 6. And that's going to be a single to left field. Runners advance 1 base. Runner on second with the 5-speed scores. With 2 outs, runner on second. Okay, so there's not 2 outs yet. So just going to be a 1 base advancement according to the chart. And the chart tells you exactly. You don't have to guess. And there's no extra, there's no chance of an extra base hit or the guy running. It'll tell you whether you can take the extra base or not, is what I'm saying. So it takes the guesswork out of everything. You're not tallying, doing math, trying to tally a whole bunch of stuff. So here's Ron Hassey, 2-6, and we're back to the ballpark again. It's a raised number of 5. So again, we're going to roll the 2d6s and consult the column 2 chart. 61, which is now going to make that a 4. So this drops from a 5 to a 4, but 4 is still going to be hard to get on a range. So let's see. The blue die is a 6, which means the player again is the right fielder, and Disco Dan's range is only a 2, so he's never going to get to that. That will drop in for a base hit. And it says here, runners advance 1 base, 2 bases if their speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. Well, Disco Dan's arm is a 4. His range is only a 2, but his arm is a 4. And so I don't think that the runners, see, Alexander's only a speed of 3, so he cannot advance. He cannot advance to score. He can only go to third base. So the bases are now loaded. So bases are loaded, and Montague hasn't exactly helped his cause. And now Joe Charboneau is up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Trying to really crack this open. 1-4. Won't do it though, probably. 35 and a 1-4 here is a 5 for a 40 in column 1. 40 in column 1 though says, with the infield halfway, second to first double play. So there you go. 4-6-3. So go-go didn't go-go on that one. But the Indians did do the go-go, and they scored 2 runs to lead us 6-0. Boy, the last couple games I've played on video have not been close ones. Don't know what's happening here, but the Fiddlers game wasn't very close. The Yankee game wasn't very close with the Philadelphia A's. And now, this game. So, oh well, you get, when you roll the dice, you're subject to anything that can happen. All right, here is Brian 10 Downing Street. 6-5, that's a 36, and I've already said 36 on column 6 are automatic strikeouts. So Brian Downing with the whiff again. Here's Joe Rudy. 2-3 is a 1, and a 2-4 is a 3. That's a total of 4, and anything less than 6 in column 1 or 2 is a strikeout. So Dan Spillner not having nearly the issues that Frost and Montague had. He has now struck out 2 in a row, and that brings up Bobby Grich. 4-6. 4-6 is a 16. 4-6 is the second baseman, and the second baseman is Kuiper, who's a 4, so that becomes a 20 when you add those together. And in column 4, number 20, and this is an interesting one. It's our first umpire check, so I'll show that in the book. When you go to column 4, and the infield, of course, is back because the bases are empty. When you go to column 4 and you get a 20, right here, 17 through 20 is a ground out to first. However, there's an asterisk here. The asterisk says umpires option play 20 through 21. So flip the page and go to our umpire chart. Our umpire chart is for 20 and 21. So on 20, he's got a chance to be safe on a 1 or 6. On 21, he's got a chance to be safe 2, 3, 4, or 5. His case, we got a 20, So if we roll a 1 or a 6, he will beat it out. Anything else, he will be out. And it's a 6, so he beat it out. He's safe. So the umpire calls him safe. So Bobby Grich hustling down that line. Down 9-0, that's or 6-0. That's a pretty good hustle. But he beat it out and reaches first base on an infield hit. And now they'll bring up Freddie Patek. 6-2, and that's another split chance. Against a lefty, that's a 9. Against a righty, it's a 59. So we got a 59. And what the 9 means, 9's a good chance for a home run. 59's a good chance for a double. So that means he hit more homers against lefties than he did righties. So that's what's cooked in right here. That's a 59. 6-1 is a 2 is a 61 total. And the 61 is a double into the corner. So double into the corner, and we'll check base running advancement with the double in the corner. It says runner advances 2 bases with 2 outs. Runner on 4 or 5 with 4 or 5 speed scores from first. Well, Bobby Grich, checking his speed, he's only a 3. So even with 2 outs, he is unable to score. He will have to stop at third base. So the strat equivalent to that is, of course, a double 2 stars. So runners at second and third with 2 outs for Al Cowens as the Angels try to break through here in the 5th. 4-6 is a 1. They won't do it. 4-6 is a 1. 4-6 is a second baseman Kuiper. That's a 4. Total of 5, and that's an easy ground out. And the Angels are thwarted again, thinking they were going to score. But we go to the 6th, and it's still 6-0 favor of the Go-Go Joe Charboneau-led Cleveland Indians, although Go-Go is 0 for 3. So Dale Murphy, in my tribute game to Murphy, he was 0 for 5. My semi-tribute game here to Charboneau, and he's 0 for 3. Go figure. All right, here's Dwayne Kuiper. He's 0 for 2. That's a 2-6, and we're back to the ballpark again. Starts out with a raised number of 4, but we'll see if that's adjusted. It's a 52. It's going to stay a 4, so that 52 through 61 is a 4, which is exactly what this is. So it's going to stay a 4, and 2-2 is a 5. So that's a total of, 2-2 tells us that the 2 tells us that the left fielder this time is the guy being checked, and the left fielder for California is Joe Rudy, who's a range of 4. But you have to have a range greater than this number, and since the ballpark kept it at 4, that's going to drop in. It's not greater than. It's the same, but it's not greater than. So it's going to be a single for Dwayne Kuiper. So he will lead off with a single, and that'll bring up Tom Verizor. 4-6, possible double play. 4-6 is a 3. 4-5 is the shortstop, and in that case, that's a 4 for the shortstop, Patek. So that's a total of 7. So it will not be a double play. With the infield halfway, 2 through 7 is, well, you know what? It could be a double play. Here's the other option I didn't check out. When you get a 6 or a 7, we go to the pivot man chart. That's what the 6 and 7 means. But we got a 7 on the result. So we're going to check the pivot man's defense. And the pivot man in this case, since we were checking Patek, the pivot man is Grich, who's a 1. So very good defensive pivot man is a 1. So since we're on a 7, if we roll a 1 through 4, it's a double play. 5 through 6, it's a fielder's choice. So when we roll 1 die, if it's anything other than 5 or 6, it's a double play. And of course, it's a fielder's choice. Wouldn't you figure we get a red 6 again? So it's a fielder's choice. It won't be a double play. It'll be a fielder's choice. So that's going to go 6-4. So Grich tried to pivot in a hurry, but Verizor was able to beat it out. He's on with the fielder's choice, and now here is Rick Manning. And that one jumped the ship, so I'm going to redo that. 4-2-4. 4-2 is an 18. 4-4 is the shortstop. Again, that is Burleson, who's a 4. Makes that a 22. So with the infield halfway, a 22 is a single off the fielder's glove. Runners advance 1 base. So since they were playing halfway, it cut down on his range. He was not able to get to it. He knocked it down to prevent Verizor from going to third, but it could not prevent the hit. So runners at first and second with 1 out for Toby Harrah. 3-3 is a 5. 3-4 is a 5. It's a total of 10 in column 3. 10 in column 3 is a single to right field. And again, it's one of those check with base coaches thing. So the single to right Verizon is the runner at second. His run rating is a 3, and the arm rating is a 4, which means we're on a -1 because the arm rating is greater than the run rating. So now when we go to the third base coach, we're looking at the -1 category. Could still try to send him with 2 D6s because on a 7, 3, 4, 5, or 7, he will get the extra base. Only outs are 6 and 11. Everything else he probably has to hold. So we'll go ahead and try it. We get a 2. 2 says XB/cutoff. So XB/cutoff says lead runner is safe advancing extra base as throw is cut off. Play is made on the closest trailing runner. Roll 1 die against the runner's speed. If the die is higher, he is out. If not, the runner advances safely. So Verizon is going to score on the base hit, but we're checking the cutoff on Rick Manning. He's trying to get to third, so they're thinking about cutting that off. Rick Manning speed is a 4, so we're going to roll 1 die, and if it's a 4 or higher, I'm sorry, if it's a 5 or 6, he's out. 4 or less, he's safe. So they got him out. They cut the throw and got him at third base. So that's going to be with the base hit going to, did I say I went to left field? No, I went to right field. So I went to right field. So that means the right fielder threw the, I'm trying to recreate the play in my head. He threw it and the first baseman cut it off and then threw it to third. So I'm gonna call it a 9-3-5 out there for out number 2. And Hara will stay at first base. All right, so Mike Hargrove's the batter now with the runner at first. The run is in. So a little exciting there on the cutoff play. I don't know how well the book is showing up on video so you can see these results, but I'm glad I'm getting some different results so you can see the different things that can happen in this game. All right, here's Mike Hargrove. 4-4 is a 19, and a 4-3 is the third baseman. So the third baseman for California is Mr. Lansford. He's a 3. Add it to the 19, it's a 22. Now with 2 outs, the infield is back. So 22 still says single off the fielder's glove. Runner advances 1 base. So still couldn't quite get to it, but he did knock it down so that Hara couldn't go to third. So runners are at first and second with 2 outs for George Orta. And Cleveland just pounding the ball. I think it's more to do with California's bad pitching than it is their hitting. 3-2 is a 2, and a 3-6 is a 5. That's a total of 7, and that's going to be a base hit. Single to left, runners advance 1 base, and we're back to the third base coach again. So let's see. But there are 2 outs this time, so let's see what we got here. Single to left. Left fielder's arm is only a 3, that being Joe Rudy. So his arm is a 3. The speed of the runner at second base, Hara, is also a 3. I'm sorry, Hara's a 4. So actually, what you're going to do now is use the +1 because of the fact that the arm is a 3 and the speed is a 4. So let's see here. All right, so here we go. And actually, I did a little boo-boo on the cutoff play. What I was supposed to, I didn't read this part over here. From right field to third base, I should have moved right 1 column, but still it wouldn't have mattered because when you roll a 2, you still get this XB cutoff. So the play result was still accurate, but it should have been, I should have moved right 1 because of the effect from going from right field to third base. But in this case, thank goodness it didn't change the result. This one's to left field, so it's not going to change anything except for the fact that we're at a +1 now because the run speed is higher than the arm rating. So the only way he's going to be out is to do a 10. Everything else, he will make it. And that's a 5, so he's definitely going to get the extra base. So he will score. So Toby Hara will score from second base. And the runner Hargrove from first is going to stay at second with the ball hit to left field. But another run is in for Cleveland. 2 more runs. They now lead it 8-0. And here is Gary Alexander. I'm sorry, that was Alexander's hit, my bad. It's, where did the orders go? I moved order by mistake, my bad. Orta's the batter, not anybody else, because Alexander just hit. All right, so 1-2. 1-2 is a 3, and a 1-6 is a 5, total of 8. in column 1 and 8 in column 1 as they pop out to third to end the inning. So a messy inning, 2 runs come in. It is 8-0. I probably should have picked 2 really good pitchers to present this game and gone with somebody else, like a J.R. Richard or something. Maybe had a quicker, faster, lower scoring game, but sometimes I guess the slugfest are good because you get to see multiple results. I don't know. But, you know, when it's 8-0, people kind of leave early, but that's okay if you want to leave early. I don't blame you. It's 8-0. But if you want to see the game played out, you're welcome to stay, and I appreciate everybody that is. Here's Carney Lansford, 5-4, is a 1. Again, there's a K there, so if he reaches, we go to the action chart K. But right now it's a 1. 5-2 is a 3. Added to the 1, it's a 4, but a 4 is a ground out to short, so we won't go to any action chart because he's out. So 1 away, and here's Disco Dan. 3-1 is a 31, and a 3-4 is a 3 for a total of 34. 34 in column 3 is a double to right field. Double to right field for Disco Dan. Had Spillner had a 2 instead of a 3 there, that would have been an out, but that extra 3 bumped him up to that extra number that he needed of a 34, because 33 or less, 33 through 30 would have been lineouts, but 34s and 35s are doubles. So the fact that Spillner gives up extra hits cost him that double there. All right, but he's got an 8-0 lead, so he's not sweating. He's not sweating a bit. Here's Don Baylor. 2-3. 2-3 is a 16, and a 2-1 is a 3. Is a total of 19. And that is a fly out to center field with runner on third base and less than 2 outs. It's a sacrifice fly, but he's only on second, not on third. So that will not come into play, and there's no provision for him to go from second to third on that result, so he stays there at second base. And that brings up Rodney Carew. 1-6 is a 45, and with 2 outs, with the infield back, I should say, it's a strikeout. So that's going to end the inning pretty abruptly after that double. Thought they had something going, but they still can't get a run across, and it is 8-0 as we go to the 7th inning. And we'll get a new pitcher for the California Angels, and let's see if we can go to somebody that's halfway decent for a change. They're going to go to Bruce Keeson. Don't know how decent he is, but I'm sorry, he's a starter, not a reliever. My bad. I saw the number there and I got confused. We'll go to, we don't want to go to Mark Clear because he's like their closer. Him and LaRoche. I really don't want to use them, but for a one-off and it's opening day, I guess we can do it that way. So we'll go to Mark Clear. Just try to get some decent pitching in for a change. Mark Clear is on. He'll be facing Hassey, Charboneau, and Kuiper. So I probably should have brought LaRoche, but that's okay. I want Clear to go 2 innings if he can. All right, here's Hassey. Hassey, 1-6 is a 45. We know that's a strikeout. That's 1 away. And here's Go-Go Joe Charboneau. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout and hitting to a double play. So he could use one right here. 2-1 is a 37. 2-5 is a 1. That is a 38 in column 2. And a 38 in column 2 is a ground out pitcher to first. And there would be an injury check if we were doing injuries. He would say he would be out for 2 games. But I'm not going to play injuries, so it's just going to be a regular ground out pitcher to first for out number 2. So Go-Go Joe Charboneau can't chime in with the rest of his teammates. Kuiper, 1-6, a 45 again is another strikeout. So at least Mark Clear, a little bit better fortunes than his teammates. 7th inning stretch. We're at the bottom of the 7th. And it is Brian 10 Downing Street to lead off against Spillner. Now Spillner can go 6 innings and face 26 batters. He has only faced, 23 batters. Plus he's pitching a shutout, so I think he can get through 7 pretty easily. 2-1 is a 21. 2-5 is a 4. It's a 25 in column 2. And again, that would be the injury check if we were doing injuries. It's a ground ball, 5-3. That column 2 with the results from 22 through 55 are injury checks. So that's where injuries come into the game. All right, Joe Rudy. 2-2 is a 55. There's a raised number, but since it's not orange, this number is frozen. This number is not going to change like it does down here. This is set in stone as a 3. All right, so the 3 on the blue die tells us it is the center fielder range that's being checked. So the center fielder is Rick Manning, and Rick Manning's a 4, which means he's going to get to this because it's greater than the 3, so it's just going to be a fly to center. We're out number 2. Rick Manning with a good range out there. And here is Bobby Grich. 3-6, that's the left-right check again. And again, we've seen it once before. It's a liner to short because it's a righty versus a righty. In fact, I usually circle those when we get those just to see how many come up throughout the game. All right, so 1, 2, 3 go the Angels. So Spillner has faced 26 batters exactly and is pitching a shutout. So he might be able to go 8 innings. We shall see. So Verizon is going to lead off the 8th for Cleveland as they lead it 8-0. And a laugher here on opening day in California. The home folks at Anaheim not happy. 1-3 is a 3. 1-6 is a 1. So that's a total of 4, which is a strikeout. Anything less than 6 in column 1 is a strikeout, and the 4 fits the bill. All right, Rick Manning just made that nice range play. 6-2, and that's a split chance. Against a lefty, it's a 16, which would be a flyout. But against a righty, it's a 60, which means extra bases. So that's going to be a double because no matter what you add to it, to that 60, you're going to get a 61 through 65 result, which is a double. So there's where the left-right split came in right here. Had I had LaRoche in there, that would have been a deep fly out, but I didn't. So instead, it is a double. Almost wrote in 7 by mistake thinking about it, but it's a double. And at this point, when it's 8-0, I'm really not playing left-right splits as far as strategy. So, Toby Harrah, 2-6 is a 55. Again, we got the range with the ballpark again, which is a 3. Blue die is a 6, which means we're checking the right fielder. And in this case, that is Disco Dan, is only a 2. So this better be lowered to a 1, or else it's going to drop in for a hit. 56 is actually going to be increased to a 4. So that definitely makes it going to drop in for a hit. So let's see what it says. It says runner advances 1 base, 2 bases if their speed is higher than the outfielder's arm. Manning's speed is a 4, same as the arm of Disco Dan, so it's not higher, it's equal to, so he will not be able to score. He will have to stop at third. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs for Mike Hargrove. 2-4 is a 16, and a 2-2 is a 1. 17 in column 2. And it says strike out with bases empty or fly out to center with men on base. So it's a fly out to center with men on base. Now with runner on third base and less than 2 outs, roll 1 die. If die roll is odd, batter strikes out. If die roll is even, sacrifice fly. Okay, so I'll show this in the book so you can see what I'm looking at. Column 2 and a number 17. Oops, one book. 2 and 17 because again, it was a 2-4 for 16 and a 2-2 for 1. So that's a 17 result. 17 result. And it says here, strike out with the bases empty or fly out to center with men on base. Then it says with a runner on third base and less than 2 outs, roll 1 die. If die is odd, he strikes out. If it's even, it's a sacrifice fly. So we're going to roll 1, D6. If it's odd, he struck him out. If it's even, then Manning will score from third on the sac fly. It is odd, so he struck him out. Hargrove strikes out. Out number 2. So here's Gary Alexander. 5-2 is a 32. 5-6 is a 5-37 total. And that is a strikeout. 33 through 37 in column 5 is a strikeout. So Mark Clear pitches his 2 innings and keeps things from getting out of hand. And they'll bring in Dave LaRoche to pitch the 9th just to try to keep it from getting worse. And Spillner, I think we're going to go ahead and make the move. Opening day, they don't usually like to stretch the pitchers out too much. Of course, it's back in 1980, they probably did, but we'll just let it go. And Victor Cruz, who actually pitched in this game, will be on in relief of Spillner. But Spillner's 7 shutout frames. And it's going to be facing the bottom of the order, Freddie Patek, followed by Cowens and Lansford. So Cruz to Patek. 3-1, and that is a 13. 3-5 is a 1. That's a 14 in column 3. And a 14 in column 3 is a line out to third base. So the fact that was a 1 here, that means low base hit. He allows low base hit averages. So that kept that from being a hit. Had he had a 3 here, had that been a 3, that would have been a triple. And we saw that earlier in the game on the second at bat with Hara. But here, it's just simply going to be a line out. And let's see, check it again. It's a total of 14, which is a line out to third. So line out to third, 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Al Cowens. Hopefully, Charboneau will get 1 more at bat, see if he can finally get a hit next inning. 1-2 is a 2, 1-2 is a 1. That's a definite strikeout. So California just can't get the bats going at all. Connie Lansford, all that, 1-1, look at that. 1-1 is a 20, 1-1 is a 1, it's a 21. That's actually a base hit. It says line drive single plus error question mark. Runner advances 1 base. Ball drops in and may be mishandled. Roll against error rating of the fielder. The roll is higher, batter, and all runners advance an extra base. All right, the blue die is a 1, which tells us the fielder is the left fielder. Left fielder for Cleveland is Joe Charboneau. His error rating is a 24, which is not very good. So we're going to roll 2 d6s. If it's higher than 24, or I'm sorry, if it's 24 or higher, it's an error. Well, we're going to re-roll that because the red die fell out. 61, it's a total of 61, so it will be an error. It will be an error, and that will allow the extra base. So Lansford singles and then goes to second on the Charboneau error. So Charboneau really having a rough game for his debut. He actually had a home run in the real game in his debut. But in this game, he's 0 for 4, and now he's committed an error. So that puts the runner at second with 2 outs for Disco Dan. 3-1 is a 31. 3-3 is a 1. Total of 32. 32 in column 3 is going to be a line out to right field to end the inning. Again, when you have 1s in this column 3, that takes away a lot of hits. So that's going to end the inning. Again, California can't quite break the scoreboard. So it is 8-0 as we go to the 9th. And Dave LaRoche will be on for the Angels to pitch this top of the 9th. And he'll be facing George Orta, Ron Hassey, and Joe Charboneau. So 2 lefties and a righty. So here's Orta. 3-2 is a 2 with a star, which means if he gets on base, he will try to steal. 3-4 is a 1, though. That's only going to be a total of 3. And a 3 in column 3 is a dribbler to the catcher. And that's going to be a 2-3 putout. 1 away for Ron Hassey. 3-4. 57, it's another chance for a rare play possibility, perhaps. So again, with that column 3 and a 57, we're going to roll 1 die. If it's odd, look at it again. If it's even, then we're going to use the 53 through 57 playbook. If it's odd, we'll go to the rare playbook. And of course, it's even. Keep hoping for an odd one, but oh well. So it's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Now the speed of Hassey is a 3. So if this die is a 1, 2, or 3, Hassey will beat it out. If it's a 4, 5, or 6, he will be thrown out. 6, he's out of there. So Ron Hassey thrown out on the tapper back to LaRoche. 2 down for Joe Charboneau. Last chance for Go-Go Joe. His last chance. 2-2 is an 11. So that's going to probably be a base hit. 2-2 is an 11. 2-1 is a 1. It's a total of 12. And a 12 is a single up the middle. So Go-Go Joe Charboneau finally gets his base hit that he wanted. Took him his 5th at bat to do it, but he finally got the base hit. And now here's Dwayne Kuiper. 2-3 is a 5. 2-2 is a 1. It's a total of 6 in column 2. And anything 6 or less in column 2 is a strikeout to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Still 8-0. The only, I guess, drama is whether or not California can get a run across the board. Hey, Larry Rice, how are you doing? There's a Larry Harris and a Larry Rice. I've got to make sure I keep you guys separated so I know who's who. All right, before we do the bottom of the 9th, there's one marking on Victor Cruz's card that I did want to make mention of, in case anybody was curious. In the fielding column number 4, most pitchers, like Dan Spillner, all have positions here. However, some pitchers that are fly ball pitchers have this C6 here. That means Victor Cruz didn't give up that many ground balls. He's more of a fly ball pitcher. So if we get this result here or here, then we don't read it from column 4. We shift to column 6, and we also shift the batters to read their column 6 result, which is more of a fly ball than the ground ball. So in case you were curious what that C6 meant, that's what that talks about. It just talks about moving to column 6. For extreme ground ball pitchers, their column 6 will have a C4 on it, which means you shift from 6 to 4. So just thought, I mean, it probably won't come up in the game, but I just thought I'd mention it just in case. Don Baylor to lead it off. 5-1 is a 4. 5-4 is a 2. It's a total of 6 in column 5. And that's going to be a walk. With runner on first only or bases full, counts 2 balls, but he's a leadoff batter, so Don Baylor will draw the walk. Brings up Rod Carew. 3-1, and that's a 4 with an asterisk, which means he would try to steal if he gets on. 3-6 is a 1. Again, Cruz cuts out a lot of hits with this 1 here. So that makes it a total of 5. The 1 and the 4 is a 5, and a 5 is just a short fly to left field. So 1 away for Brian Downing. 6-6 is a 4. I'm sorry, 6-6 is an 8. So Brian Downing going to do some damage here. 6-6 is an 8. 6-2 is a 1. That's a total of 9 in column 6, which is a single to center. Runners advance 1 base. There's no advantage. There's nothing on the board that says a runner on first can go extra bases. If he's on second, he could, but not on first. So it's going to be a single, 1 base advancement. Runners at first and second as the Angels try to break that shutout as best they can. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Trying to break that shutout and try to at least put a run across the board and save some posterity. Let's see. 1-5 is a 2. 1-3 is a 1. That's a strikeout. That's not going to help the cause. So down to our last at bat, Bobby Grich. Last chance to get that hit. Bobby Grich. 3-6, and that's the left-right split again. Cruz is a righty. Grich is a righty, so it's a liner to short. Second time he's gotten that result. So there have been 3 different results for California where right-handed batters were retired by right-handed pitchers via the left-right split. Those 3 L6s. It happened 3 times in this game. Didn't happen at all for Cleveland, but it happened for California. So Cleveland wins the game 8-0. Almost scared to do the results. Let's total them up. Hit-wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've got unofficially 18 hits for Cleveland. 8, 18, and 0 for Cleveland. So actually it could have been a lot worse than 8 with those 18 hits. Let's check California. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they were out hit 18-8. And actually there was an error on Cleveland. So Charboneau, I forgot Charboneau had an error there. So your final score is kind of messy. Final line score 8, 18, and 1 for Cleveland. 0, 8, and 0 for California. Winning pitcher was Dan Spillner. Loser was Dave Frost. And of course there was no save. Although had I let Cruz pitch the final 3 innings, he would have gotten that save. But I had Spillner go 7, so that took care of that. So there's my presentation of a game that hasn't seen a lot of videos lately, and that being replay baseball. Lots to like in replay baseball. It's very easy to learn, for one. The base running is all laid out for you for the most part. The steals can be automated. They do have some left-right splits, maybe not as much as I would like, but there are some players that are done left-right splits. And I haven't shown the pitchers yet. Let me see if I can find one. These teams may not have one that fall into that category. But if they're extreme left-right pitchers, they do have the pitchers with left-right splits as well. And of course, these guys don't have that. Of course, I picked a game that didn't have that. And I don't think I have the... Let's see if I can find somebody in 1980 that had an extreme split as a pitcher. And then maybe I can find something here. I don't know who would have been somebody that would fall in that category off the top of my head. Let's see. Here we go. Grant Jackson of the Pirates. 1980 Grant Jackson, reliever for the Pirates. I'll show him as an example, just as an example of what you have. So you see the shaded area there in blue. When he faces a left-hander, then we use these top three columns. One and two become column one, row 1. 3 and 4 become column 2, and 5 and 6 on the blue die become column 3. And if he's facing a right-hander, then you use the bottom 3. And typically, not always, but typically, you get a little bit better results. You can see here on the hits, for example, in his hits column number 3, when he's facing a lefty, he's got a 1, 2, and a 3, which are pretty good. When he's facing a righty, it's a 2, 3, and a 5. So there's a big difference there that could cost him giving up a hit. Same with home runs. He's got all 1s here against lefties, but against righty, he's got a 2 and a 4 that could produce a home run. So there's an example of somebody with an extreme left-right split as a pitcher. I was kind of hoping payoff pitch would do something similar to this, but the guy who runs payoff pitch has been adamant that that's no way in hell that's happening. So we just have to live with the game as it is, which is a great game. It just, even if I see a game that's really, really good, I like to see it improved. I think any game can be improved. There's no perfect game out there. I think there's room for improvement on any game, and I think that's the one thing that would really help out payoff pitch if they did that. So that's going to do it from here. Didn't plan to be on this long, but the Angels and Indians had other ideas scoring all these runs. Plus, I was trying to semi-teach the game as I'm playing, or at least if not teach it, at least explain what's going on and what die results mean what, and why something turned out the way it did, and had the pitcher had a better rating, it would have been this way, that kind of thing. So that's why the game took a little bit longer than what it normally would be. If I'm playing this offline by myself and it's not a blowout like this, I'd say the average time is about 30 minutes once you get the game down, because a lot of the results you do remember. High end is probably 40 minutes if you have a higher scoring game. So I think it's pretty comparable to payoff pitch or to inside pitch on that. Now, Alex, it's not seem like it's not going to happen. It is, according to the guy that runs it, it will never. It'll be over his dead body, basically, because they claim it's already built in, which I don't agree with, but that's just the way it is. But then, of course, the inside pitch has their problem with splits because they don't have guys with less than 40 at-bats against one side of the plate. They don't rate them that way. So, for instance, John Lowenstein in 1982, he had like 2% of his at-bats against lefty pitching, which means he couldn't hit lefty pitching to save his life. But in the inside pitch, if I wanted to play him against lefties, I could play him with no penalty because he has the exact same ratings as he does against right-handers. Where in payoff pitch, you try to play him against lefties, and he ain't doing anything. So if we could combine the two and give the splits in the payoff pitch for pitchers and the splits for inside pitch for the marginal batters, that would be really wonderful. Of course, Lowenstein's not marginal because he had like 300 some at-bats. It's just he was strictly a platoon player. So when you got those platoon players, I think they should be represented in the game. But again, that's a horse I've beaten so many times, it's not even funny. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Tomorrow's Friday. Hopefully everybody's going to have a good weekend. Right now it's about 10 minutes to 6 here on the East Coast. I'm sure RJL or someone will be, maybe Al Red Sox or somebody will be streaming something this evening. So check out those channels and check out what they might be presenting, whether it's payoff pitch, inside pitch, boxing, golf, whatever the case may be. That's about it. I can't think of anything else to say on there. I've gone long enough. I'm getting tired. I just finished work, so I really do need to decompress a little bit now, I guess. But I did want to put something out there that hadn't been shown in a while, and Replay Baseball has not had a video put out on YouTube for a long time that I can remember. So kind of wanted to do that. That's why I did the Strat Basic. That's another thing that hadn't been played in a while on video with Strat Basic, although I think Strat Delaware is doing a 79 in Basic. So, but he's also doing a lot of it in payoff pitch. So but I think when he's doing it Strat, he was doing the basic side. So thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. So what I'm thinking about doing next maybe is pulling out an old APA. I haven't played APA in ages, so I may do something with APA. I also got Pine Tar I haven't played in a while, so might bring back both of those, and then pick back up with normally scheduled programming, i.e. the Mark Fidget replay and the 1977 Stratomatic ALCS between the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles, which were the two teams that won the divisions in my replay. At least that's what the computer did, because the computer played all those games out. My White Sox finished in third place, but had a decent season. I think I finished within 2 or 3 games of their real-life record. But Texas really overplayed their hand, as did Baltimore. And the Yankees and Kansas City were both 9 games less than what they were in real life. So they had bad replay, and that cost them. So enjoy the rest of your night. Weekend's coming up. It's right around the corner. And we're in the middle of September, or almost the beginning of September. Of course, tomorrow being September 11th. So remember those folks from that tragedy in 2001. Remember all the first responders and all the innocent people that were in those buildings. Never forget that. 19th year. It's hard to believe it's been 19 years ago that happened. So anyway, let's go from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Replay Baseball. And until next time, continue to play whatever game you choose to play in the hobby, any way you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.